What's going on, everybody? Welcome on into TTP Sports. Hours after the fact that the Phillies walked off the Washington Nationals and they win by a score of 3-2. They walk them off in the ninth. Phillies get the bases loaded, nobody out. Trea Turner battles in his at-bats, and Trea Turner has had a very good past couple of days since, getting quote-unquote having a rest day, having a day off from Rob Thompson's perspective, even though it was probably a benching. I would say I would like to think of it as a benching, and Trea Turner has had a past, good couple of days here, including this walk-off single, as you might add. So, hey, they figured out a way to win after Estevez blows it in the ninth inning, just allowing contact after contact after contact. He manages to get out of the inning, only allowing 2 runs, but still the game is tied at this point, and not just 2-0 Phillies. But then I can also put blame onto the Phillies offense for only putting up 2 runs against Patrick Corbin. And Patrick Corbin was throwing basically 25 plus pitches, it felt like, every single inning, and the Phillies only mustered 2 runs out of it, and they were off at the bat of Nick Castellanos and JT Realmuto with 2 outs each, getting some RBI singles in there. And also happening with Nick Castellanos manufacturing his own run, stealing second base, and then allowing JT Realmuto to drive him in with the single as well. So those 2 runs happened there. And then basically, rest of the way, Aaron Nola battled through today. I thought Aaron Nola was pretty good out there on the mound. He got into some trouble, a few innings, allowed some base runners, but managed to get out of some jams. The bullpen, besides Estevez, was fine. Well, it was good, actually. Strom got out of the 7th inning jam that Aaron Nola exited from. I believe it was either 1st and 3rd or 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs or something like that. And then Jeff Hoffman got through his 8th inning. It was just freaking Estevez. Of course, when you see the stat where he only allowed 1 earned run since May 21st, and of course he allows 2 earned runs there. So that is just, God. Like, why, man? Why, man? Why? So, but hey, some good at-bats there. Brandon Marsh ripping a double off the wall. Thank God for the Nationals defense, and they'd have no idea how to throw the ball in the infield because it would have been a single for Brandon Marsh instead of the double. It's crazy in that perspective because the ball was rocketed off the bat of Marsh, goes off the wall. The right fielder for the Nationals just gets a perfect bounce, and he plays it perfectly. Almost held Brandon Marsh to the single, but thankfully, I believe it was C.J. Abrams once again that completely overthrew, the rest of the infield, or it was the right fielder that completely overthrew the infield and then went all the way to third base, and Marsh was able to get to second base because no one was covering. So, hey, we take it at the end of the day. Then Stevenson comes up, pinch hitting for Johan Rojas, and I was even questioning to myself, why don't you just let Johan come up here and bunt and see what happens? Well, it made me shut up because Stevenson bunt and something happened, and he managed to put it into the perfect spot of the infield where no one was at, and you got 1st and 3rd with nobody out for Kyle Schwarber to walk this baby off possibly with nobody out in 1st and 3rd. And Kyle Schwarber works a walk. So, hey, you got bases loaded, nobody out, Trea Turner on base, and of course the pessimism that's in my brain. How are they going to fuck this up? How are they going to fuck this up? Because at this point in time, I was at Chickies and Pete's with my buddies. I kind of went there like around the 4th inning or something like that, around the 5th inning. It was after, I believe, the Phillies made it a 2-0 ball game. So I was basically there the entire time for the rest of the game, and I was there when Estevez blew the game. Obviously, I was there when they walked it off. It was funny too because me and my buddy were kind of on the same mindset with the Trea Turner. But this kind of feels like a strikeout for Trea Turner right here, and then reverse jinx right there. Trea Turner rips it off the left field wall to walk the ball game off, and thank the Lord, I was able to enjoy the rest of the night with my buddies. So basically, that was it. Pretty boring game. Nonetheless, I would have liked more offensive output against the quality of pitcher that is Patrick Corbin. I understand you're not going to score 13 runs every night. You're not going to score 9 runs every night. But I think against the guy that has the worst ERA in the league, the worst numbers in the league in Patrick Corbin, you probably could have done way more. Like, seriously, the dude was throwing 25-plus pitches in every single inning. So, you got the win. So, getting the W is the most important thing at the end of the day at this point, and finding this team to get back on track. So, hey, when one day the offense was completely surging the past couple of days. Today, they really needed the pitching. Estevez was no part of that. And then the offense came up clutch when needed. So that's going to happen from time to time. I do expect Estevez to bounce back from this. He's been too good at the entirety of this season for him to just completely fall off a cliff. I hope that's not going to be the case with him just falling off of a cliff. But yeah, that definitely wasn't the best performance there for Estevez, just allowing, 3 straight guys to get on base, just not being able to get guys out there in the beginning and allowing the game to be tied. It was just not pretty. It definitely wasn't the prettiest ninth inning in the world, I'm not going to lie. But hey, like I said, getting the dub is all that matters. And I do think it's important because Trea Turner does look a lot more confident at the plate, especially, coming off of the off day, quote unquote, the benching, quote unquote, whatever you want to call it. I believe he went, 3 for 5, 3 for 4 yesterday. And in today's ball game, he goes 4 for 5 with the walk-off RBI. So, hey, if Trea Turner can find himself and find ways to snap back out of it, because we need the version of Trea Turner that it was before he went down with the hamstring injury, and basically after he came back from the hamstring injury for that little stretch there as well, when he was playing at an elite level. Just completely elite MVP caliber numbers, because that is when this team is at its best, when Trea Turner is clicking. When Bryce Harper went over 3 today, but I expect him to bounce back because he looks like he has been swinging the bat a lot better the past couple of days, so I expect Bryce to be better in that situation. Schwarber went over 3 today, so I expect Schwarber to be better as well in the oncoming days. Alec Boehm got on base once again, so he extends that on base streak. Nick Castellanos got a hit. JT got the RBI hit. Bryson Stott got a walk in this game, but no hits. Weston Wilson went over 2 with a walk, so that was kind of expected following up the cycle. He was probably going to have an off day or something like that at the plate. But, Brandon Marsh got his number called in the bottom of the 9th inning, and he managed to find a way to get hard contact on the ball and drove it enough, and thankfully to the Nationals defense for completely screwing up the transfer to the infield, allowing him to get to second base. So thank God for that. Johan Rojas had a single in this game, and then Stevenson had the bunt single as well. Phillies had 10 hits in total. They went 5 for 10 with runners in scoring position, but they only scored 3 runs, so they were able to advance runners and all that stuff. It was just, it was one of those weird days. And if you want to look at Aaron Nola's stat line, he was pretty sharp today, 6 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts on 111 pitches. Battled through a lot of base runners, but he was able to get out of a lot of jams in this game, so that's a lot of credit to Aaron Nola. Matt Strahm, he got the final 2. So he finished the inning that Aaron Nola started, and then he also started in that 8th inning before Jeff Hoffman came in. He allowed a hit, 1 strikeout on 11 pitches, and Jeff Hoffman got the final 2 outs of the 8th inning, striking out 1 on 11 pitches. He also did a little shimmy to the final batter there for the Washington Nationals. I don't know who it was at first, but it was kind of funny just to see that Jeff Hoffman do that. And then Estevez gets the win tonight, so Estevez's stat line clearly dictates that win-loss record for pitchers means absolutely jack shit in baseball. He allowed 3 hits, 2 earned runs, and struck out 2 on 27 pitches. Jesus Christ. And basically, if you want to look at some of the offensive chances that some of these teams had in this game, the first inning, the Nationals had first and second with 1 out, but the inning double play happened there, so Nola got out of that jam. Trea Turner had a single in the first. Boehm singled in the first as well, so he had first and third with 2 outs for Castellanos. He flew out. Nola allowing some runners in the second, gets out of that. Bottom of the second inning, got Stott walking, and then Rojas reaching in on an infield single. Nothing happens there with Kyle Schwarber. Phillies then get the scoring in the bottom of the 3rd inning, those 2 runs. Turner singled, Harper walked, then Boehm grounded out into a double play, so that could have been a big inning if you don't ground out into the double play, but could have been a bigger inning, I would say. Then Castellanos got the single. That drove home Trea Turner. Castellanos then stole second base. Then JT singled home Nick to make it 2-0. Top of the 4th inning, Aaron Nola got some base runners on there as well, an infield single, then another single, so he had first and second there, and then he managed to get out of that jam unscathed. Top of the 5th, he only allowed 1 base runner. Bottom of the 5th inning, Trea Turner led off with a double, and then no one was able to score there because Bryce Harper, it was kind of unlucky in this situation. Turner leads off with the double. Harper gets Goodwood on the ball, just hits it right to the shortstop, and Trea Turner gets out at third because it was just one of those situations. So nothing happens after that. Top of the sixth basically was the cleanest inning for Aaron Nola. After a leadoff walk, Wood gets caught stealing, and then he gets the next two guys out. Bottom of the sixth, after a two-out walk by Wilson, nothing happens there. Nola allows a couple of two-out base runners, walks Trea, then Young doubles to center field. That's when Strom comes in to get the final out of the seventh inning. Top of the eighth inning, after Wood doubles, Hoffman comes in to get the job done there. Bottom of the eighth inning, the Phillies were not able to tackle on runners after a JT two-out walk, and then basically for Estevez, allows the leadoff single to Garcia. Then Yepez singles, which moves Garcia over the second base. Then Tenya singles, scores the run, and then Young grounds into a fielder's choice where it was kind of weird because on the ground ball, the runner on third initially didn't start, but then when Bryson Stott went to second base, that's when the runner started and Trea tried to throw home to try to get the guy out there, but it was just nowhere close to in time, and the game was tied. But then Estevez struck the last two guys out, Cal and Abrams. Then in the bottom of the ninth inning, you get the Marsh double technically, but the throwing error allowed him to get the second base. Stevenson on the bunt single, which got Marsh to third. Schwarber got intentionally walked because he went up 3-0 in the count. And then Trea Turner completely battled in as a bat, fouled off a couple of pitches. It was 2-2 in the count, and then he just ripped a hanging slider into the gap to win the ball game there. So, good shit there for the Phils. You find a way to win, even though it was a pretty boring game. Not gonna lie. So let's see. I want to see if there's anything post-game here as well. Because I'm not entirely sure. So let's see. I don't think there's anything from Rob Thompson. Let me go to, Phillies Tailgate have anything here on the post-game, any post-game press conferences? Because we do have some stuff here post-game, just noise-wise from the game. So let's get to some things, actually. So let's see. Let's get to some audio. Let's get to the Nick Castellanos RBI single. Some of these clips are short besides the Trea Turner one, basically. So let's hear what Nick's single sounded like.
Ground ball through the hole on the left side, base hit. RBI single. The Phillies take the lead. It's 1-0.
Then we go to JT's RBI hit.
That one's flicked out to right center field. A base hit for Real Muto. Rounding third, Castellanos. RBI single, 5 games in a row for JT.
And now, Also, I forgot to mention this, too. It was in the fourth inning. There was 2 runners on and 2 outs. Bryson Stott basically saved the inning there, making it an amazing sliding play when the ball was going up the middle, which if Stott doesn't make the play, it's a single up the middle, and it's a 2-1 ball game for the Phillies. So Stott makes the play at second base, manages to flip to Trea Turner for the force out. So, hey, some good defensive plays right there by Bryson Stott as well. So, let's see. Let's get the Trea Turner's walk-off single.
Pitch. Swinging a fly ball out toward left field. Wood will watch it go over his head, and it's off the wall. Marshall score. Trea Turner gives the Phils the walk-off victory. 3-2 the final score here in the bottom of the ninth inning.
Love to see it. Now, I want to see if there's anything from Rob Thompson postgame. I'm not entirely sure if there is, but let's see if there is, because you never know if they have anything that's, juicy. I don't think they do. I don't think there's really anything that really stands out post-game, so yeah, doesn't really matter at the end of the day. So let's see. Nope, there's not really much there. We do have some voicemail on the Anytime hotline as well. We'll get to that in a little bit. But looking at some of the out-of-town scores specifically for the Mets and the Atlanta Braves, the Mets, they start their series with the Miami Marlins. They won that game 7-3, so it's good that you got the win tonight. And right now, the Atlanta Braves, they're in the top of the seventh inning against the Los Angeles Angels. They are losing by a score of 3-2, so we'll definitely just keep looking at that as the night goes along. But in terms of the standings right now, Phillies get their 72nd win on the year. They're 72-50, and they're 7.5 games above the Braves regarding, depending on what they do after tonight with the Braves, that is, and they're 9 games ahead of the New York Mets. Phillies have won 3 in a row. They're 6-4 in their last 10. Braves are 4-6 in their last 10, and the Mets are 4-6 in their last 10 as well. In terms of the last few games in this series, might as well look at that. I believe tomorrow is going to be Christopher Sanchez on the mound, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is. And he is going up against Mackenzie Gore. Mackenzie Gore, he is 7-10 with a 4.5 ERA. He's been getting roughed up in his past few starts, even though his last start against the Angels, he went 4 innings allowed. Oh, actually, he didn't allow a single earned run against the Angels. He allowed 5 unearned runs, but he has been getting roughed up in his past few outings, actually. Let's see. In his last 5 outings, he's allowed 3, 9, 12, 16. So 16 runs there, earned runs. 16 earned runs, but like runs in total. So 3, 9, 12, 17, 20. So combined unearned and earned runs, he's allowed 22 runs in his last 5 starts. So he has not been pitching good, to say the least. He went 2 innings on the 20th of July against the Reds. He went 5 innings against the Cardinals. He went 5 1/3 innings against the Diamondbacks. He went 5 innings against the Giants, and he only went 4 innings against the Angels. So I'm not sure what that recipe is made for. Either he is due for a very good start, or he's just going to continue to fall apart like he has been in the past few. I have no idea. But I would like to win tomorrow. I would like to win tomorrow to guarantee a series win and also to set up a chance to sweep on Sunday. I would like that a lot because this team desperately needs it, in my honest opinion. I definitely think this team really needs that, and I also did demand a sweep coming into this series, so halfway there. So I would like to see the offense be a little bit better tomorrow because we don't know what version of Christopher Sanchez we are going to get, even though Christopher Sanchez's numbers are better at Citizens Bank Park, so hopefully that means something good will be happening tomorrow. It's just depending on what's going to happen with Christopher, just depending on which version of Christopher Sanchez we get tomorrow because he's been very up and down so far. In the second half, he definitely isn't the same consistent type of pitcher that he was in the first half, so got to take that with a grain of salt there. But I would like to win tomorrow. That's just on me, but I'm sure a lot of people would like to win tomorrow. So let's get to the voicemail line here. Let's get to Sean. He has a nice short and sweet voicemail here. So we'll get to that, get to some of you guys here in the chat, and then we'll end it off. More of a shorter stream today. Started the stream a little bit later than I wanted to, but I was chilling with guys over at Chickies and Pete's, so what are you going to do? What are you going to do? It's the weekend. We have fun. We watch some baseball, even though one of my buddies does not like sports whatsoever. It was basically just like, oh, well, why is everyone watching the Phillies? They're just going to lose in general. And they ended up winning. So, Doug, if you're watching this, screw you. Love you, Doug. Love you, Doug. You know I love you. Let's get to the Sean call now. Let's do it.
Had to get this win. In my opinion, you have to sweep the Nationals in this series. I mean, you're facing these lesser teams. You got to take advantage. So, good comeback win tonight. Definitely not pretty by any means, but you got it done. Have to laugh. You know, baseball's a funny game. Carlos Estevez goes out there, blows the save, and gets rewarded for his efforts with a win. I also have to laugh thinking about how, again, bunting, there's no place for it in today's game. Well, tell that to Cal Stevenson. A well-placed bunt, especially with the runner on second, is always a good thing. Again, for the most part, kind of a boring game, kind of like an extension of watching the Eagles preseason game last night. But again, you got the win, got to keep stacking W's and try to get this thing back on track.
I agree basically with everything right there. I definitely do. But one thing you forgot to mention, Sean, Tanner McKee is the backup quarterback for the Eagles and should be the backup quarterback for the Eagles. That's the one thing you forgot to mention. There, Sean. Come on, man. Come on. Thought you would have thrown that little one in there. But you never know. There was actually one person at the game with a sign that said ladies love play discipline. So, not sure if that's true. But, thought that was a little funny there. But, yeah, that's basically it for tonight's game. what Sean said, basically, it was pretty boring. It was pretty nothing really going on besides the ninth inning for both teams. So, doesn't matter how you win. All that matters is how many you get. Ah, man. Ah, man. So they got these final 2 games against Washington, Sanchez against Gore, and then Sunday will be Taijuan Walker against, I believe, that is Jake Irvin. Jake Irvin. So, yeah, please win tomorrow because I do not trust Taijuan Walker in the slightest. So, please win tomorrow so we at least guarantee a series win. And then you have the day off on Monday. Then you play the 3-game series against the Atlanta Braves. So that's the tough stretch comes up after this Washington series. 6 games on the road, 3 in Atlanta, 3 in Kansas City. Then you got 7 games at home, 3 against Houston, 4 against the Braves. So, yeah, that is definitely a very, 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 very tough stretch right there for the Phils. Got to get the confidence, though, from these lesser teams. So, let's see what they can do. Let's see what they can do. I think I got some of the guys from the BrodesMedia chatting here. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Sir, how you doing? How you doing, man? Michael, Ice Trea mitigates the blown save. Yeah, I think it's a good thing that Trea Turner is waking up a little bit here. It's always nice. How many hits did he have last night? So combined, so he went 4 for 5 tonight. He went 3 for 5 yesterday. So that's 7 for 10, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. 7 for 10. Yeah, 4 for 5 and 3 for 5 yesterday. So 7 for 10. So hey. 7 for 10 after the quote-unquote rest day / benching, whatever you want to call it. I would think that is a response there from Trea Turner. It's a good response. How many extra base hits did he have in there as well? He had a double today, and I believe he had a double last night, if I'm not mistaken. Well, technically, if you wanted to count the walk-off hit as a double, because it would have been double distance. But in terms of yesterday, I think he had the double, just 1 double as well, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, he just had 1 double. So, had a couple of extra base hits in there as well, along with the singles. So, hey, I like this version of Trea Turner. I hope this version of Trea Turner stays. Now we just got to add some home runs in there. Because if Trea Turner's really going, he's hitting the ball out of the ballpark and doing everything else. Quick update on the Braves game. They're still in the top of the 7th inning. 3-2 Angels. They got 2 runners on and 2 outs for Sean Murphy. Hunter Strickland's on the mound for the Angels. Let's see if the Angels actually get out of this without the game being tied, because the Angels did have a chance to score in the bottom of the 6th, if I'm not mistaken, but freaking Joe Adell had a very stupid blunder on the base paths for some reason. Austin Riley made a nice play, but for some reason Joe Adell was trying to circle the bases, so I have no idea what the fuck was going on there. So Sean Murphy right now is 1-2 in the count. So let's see if anything comes out of this. I don't want to go to MLB TV. I just want to go to game day, man. I just want to go to game day. So 2-2 in the count here. The Murphy. Hunter Strickland definitely looks like he's setting up outside. Sean Murphy just fouled off the 5th pitch of the at-bat. I don't even know why I'm even getting into this freaking Braves game. The Phillies won, so nothing really matters at the end of the day. It would be nice if the Braves lose, but we'll see. So I'm assuming the 2-2 pitch is coming at any point here. From Hunter Strickland to Sean Murphy. And it looks like the Angels got out of it. Sean Murphy struck out swinging on a cutter below the zone. So, hey, let's see if the Braves can lose tonight. That'll be definitely helpful for the standings here. Got to get as much separation as possible, especially with the upcoming 2 series against the Atlanta Braves. So, that'll do it tonight, everybody. I appreciate everyone here for tuning in on a later stream than normal. Good win by the Phillies. Let's see if they can keep on continuing there. So, yeah. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It does me a great deal of service. And also use the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase at SEATGEEK. Great deal. Do not pass it up.